So I've had the K2 Plus now for about a week and a half or so, and I've really been loving it, but something interesting has happened with the CFS system. What's up, guys? Real quick, before you continue with the video, I need to apologize because there's a point in the video, I'm editing the video right now, where the camera loses focus and it just doesn't get it back for a minute. And I'm super sorry about that. Luckily, there's nothing like super crazy you need to see, but I will try to get a video up later that really shows the in-depth part of what I was trying to show when it gets blurry. So again, when that happens, super sorry. The timestamps will be down below. I'll even have a little marker that's like going blurry in 3, 2, 1 kind of thing. So I'm sorry. Thank you so much for watching though. Enjoy the video. So what it has to do with is this AMS slot number 4. Now what's really weird is it won't grab the filament, pull it through. So at first I thought maybe it was the spool, so I changed the different spool, and nope, no deal. And I even tried a different brand, no deal. I tried all the brands that are working on the other ones, still no dice. And I noticed that when I took the filament and pushed it through manually, then it would grab and then it would do everything it needed to do. And then even when it tried to exit though, it still didn't have enough power to do it. So I remember I pulled the filament up, saw that the spool roller was working, and that's when I realized there's something in here that is not grabbing it and pulling it. I don't know what it is. I looked everywhere on the internet, I think because these are brand new, and I don't even see anyone who's taken these apart yet. So I'm going to take it apart. We're going to look at it together, and maybe this is the first video that does it, so there's going to be some mistakes, but mistakes make magic, baby. Okay, so like I said, I haven't seen anybody else do this yet. So this is going to be kind of a journey for all of us. I did open this up already, and what I noticed is, unlike the AMS system that Bamboo has, there's no clear place to like take it apart inside. There's these little caps here, but I don't know what they are. They seem solid, so I'm going to leave those alone for right now. But what I did find is on the back side is kind of where a lot of the magic happens. Now I did preemptively put down this, this is actually a baseball jersey, an old baseball jersey from an old job. I put that down just because I don't want to scratch up the surface, because you're going to have to flip this upside down, and there are so many screws. As you guys can see here, there's at least 6 on these sides. There's another 1, 2, 3, 4 here. I don't think those are screws here, but you never know. But I don't think they are. Then you have this all together that puts these together. And sometimes people put screws under feet, but if I can't, I'm not going to take those off unless I have to. So yeah, so let's see what kind of tool we're going to need for this. I'm going to actually put this under here to keep this up for you guys. Oh, that's not going to work. Anyways, let's start with these. We'll get this off because that should be probably keeping a lot of things together. So I have here an H2.5, and that is perfect for those. And then I do have, I already looked, I have an H2, and that'll be for those. So let's get these out. And I have this Fantic here, so that'll be fast. It's actually dying. So I'm actually going to get one thing. So I like the old grab a piece of paper and put it down in the map of where you take screws out trick. So I'm just going to do that. That's for myself. I'll show you guys what that looks like in a little bit because I have it to the side right now. Now it looks like there's a shield here, this outer gray shield, and then there's like a glass one underneath of here. So, and you can't get to those screws without taking this off first. So, you know, again, I don't know what this looks like on the inside, and we're looking for AMS slot 4. So those are all out. So we're going to switch over to the 2 to get these guys out. Okay, that's good. Those 2 there. Okay. All right, so this should, yep, this comes out and this comes off. Okay, yeah, sweet. So that comes off, and then we have this. Looks like we have the motor right here. Now I know it's not this part because this all works fine once everything gets in. So I think there's a secondary like motor somewhere in here. So we'll have to see what that's about. It looks like I don't have to actually take that off. But we're gonna slide this up. I'm gonna take these boden tubes out. So we just press, these are just press fit in, kind of how everything is these days. And it looks like, okay, so it looks like on the back side, we have, yeah, we have a cable for the motor. Does that just come out? Is there a lock release? It doesn't look like there is, but I'm also not trying to break anything, so I'm being a little overly cautious. This one, though, does have a pinch, so we just need to pinch this. Yep. Squeeze tab, that off, squeeze, there we go. Cool, that comes out. Now that's too big. Oh, there's a little slot right there. Okay, I don't want to obviously pinch anything. Come on. This is tricky because you don't want to pinch anything, obviously, but it's like it goes in, but it doesn't want to come out. Oh no, you just have to kind of do it like one at a time. Oh yeah, okay. So you just kind of very patiently just do one of these at a time, which is maybe why it's frayed at the end or split up at the end. I don't really know. But as long as you do, yeah, as long as you're not shoving it all out there, which I guess, you know, I don't know, man. I'm not an engineer. I don't know. I know engineers say they have logic behind things. Okay, cool. So that's out. And that goes right in there. And then this, yeah, it looks like I should just be able to pull this out. But like pulling on things makes me nervous. Oh, wait. Haha. See, don't do that. There's a pull tab here. Great. Okay, cool. So the motor is out. We'll put that to the side. Okay, so that's all open and expressed. And it looks like we have two different size screws again. It actually looks like these might be, let's just shove this in here, see if this comes off. So it looks like the outer ones might be the 2. Yep, that feels right. Now, I don't think my 2.5 is deep enough. Oh, wait, maybe it is. It just might not be a 2.5. But that's why we have the actual Allen keys here. So that's a 3. I have a 2.5 over here, don't I? Yeah, here's a 2.5. So let's see if it really is a 2.5. No. So that's a little annoying. Oh, no, that was a 3. Oops. There's a 2.5. Okay, it is. I think this is just not big enough. So I'm going to go with these 4 first. Sure. Why not? Mainly because I'm doing it. So this is not a magnetic end on this side. And like I said, I don't think this reaches it. Yeah, it doesn't reach it. What if I can trick it just to grab it? Oh, nope. Okay. We're not going to do that. Okay. Okay. Okay, we'll pull this one. That one's loose. We'll do this one until I know it's for sure loose. And maybe I'll just shake them out down below this. Now the thing is, again, I don't know what's going on here. I will have timestamps of like each thing so that if you guys are like, what do you do next? You'll just know to look. Okay. Okay, so that should be all 4 of them. So let's just hope they all... Oh yeah, there they go, all 4. Cool. Okay, put this on my map so I know where these came from. Okay, cool. Okay. Oh, it looks like there's several screws back here, but they might not do anything. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. All right. Now, I do know that this fits for these ones. So these will be 6 of these. 1, a 2. Okay, good. I don't know what I'm doing, so I don't know if this is even going to take this apart, but I'm keeping track of everything, and so it should be okay. This isn't my first rodeo. Okay, so here's the deal. All of the bottom screws are now out. What does that mean? I don't know. But what we're going to do is we're going to flip it over, try not to pinch into these wires, and we're going to unlock this, open this up, and see if this comes out. Literally not budging at all. Which, you know, again, I don't know what I'm doing, man. I mean, my next step's obviously going to be taking these bottom screws out. Yeah, this is not budging in the slightest. Like, oh wait, hold on. This is, but it feels like there's stuff on it. But maybe, oh wait, is it the boden tubes? Hold on. Let's turn this sideways. Could be all the boden tubes, which are, it is. Haha, okay. So you need to untake the boden tubes out of their little slot things. Okay, cool. Okay, so now this can come out. Okay, so we've learned a lesson. The first lesson we've learned is that these boden tubes are, or this unit is the 4 screws that we took out kind of at the beginning. Oh, wow. That is interesting. And the connection here is just in this rubber grommet. So we need to know that. But this is the unit we wanted anyways. So that's good. So I'm going to put this here for a second as we inspect this. Okay, so AMS slot 4 is right here. You know, it's interesting. Off the gate, this is smooth. This is smooth. This is smooth. This, oh, hold on. Does that matter? Oh, interesting. Okay. So when this is pressed down, that's what stops it from like moving back and forth. Okay, that's very interesting. But however, when I press this one down, okay, we have things to look at now. But this, no, they all do that. Okay, hold on. This is why we're doing this. This is why we're doing this together. I need, we'll just use this. Okay, so if I pull this up, is, okay, up, this, smooth, okay. And everything in there looks good. Let me get my light, just want to make sure I have a bright light. Okay, of course, My bright light's not working. Okay. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to just pop this baby open. See what's up. So it looks like we have 2 screws here and 2 screws on the outside. So let's pop this outside one off first. This part is slightly more nerve-wracking. Now I'm just gonna keep my map here because there is so many screws over there. I just don't want to confuse it with that. Okay. Okay. Side, top. And it looks like this is all that's holding this in here. Yep. That seems to have, yep, that came off pretty easily. Okay. So I'm gonna put this up here. Okay. Now, AMS slot 4 is right here. Here's the deal. Okay. I can show you what I think the problem is. Okay, so let me actually come around so I make sure I can show you this properly. For whatever reason, if we look in the side here, this bearing, totally clean. This bearing also, sorry, let me focus, totally clean. Sorry, I'm hitting the camera. Last bearing, totally clean. But if we look at this first slot right here, let's focus, it is for sure not clean. And I don't know what that is. So, and I'll be honest, I don't remember. I've put a lot through here, but I can tell you that's why it's not grabbing it, because it's definitely like slipping. Oh yeah, it has like a literal, can I just get some tweezers? I should have some tweezers. Hold on. Here we go. Tweezers right here. I actually think these are Creality tweezers. If not, I don't know what they are. But we have, this is exactly why it's not happening. See, it's going on top of this, and it's sliding, and it's not engaging properly. Come on. Yeah. Wow. That's it. That was what was doing it, because it just wasn't, it was gliding across the roller. Here's what it was. See if I can focus on this at all. Focus there. There we go. Yeah, this like weird film. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's filament. I don't know what that is, but that is weird. But 100%, I think what was happening. In fact, let me get a piece of filament to test my theory out. Because again, once I would help it through and it would catch in the motor below, it was totally fine. Like literally super, super fine. So if I had to guess, this goes in pretty quickly. Make sure this is cut properly. But okay, so it would come in here, and then it would press it, and this would probably go up like this. Oh yeah, yeah, because that gear back there seems to be working just fine. Let's see how this feels. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that gear goes. So okay, there could be one of two things, I guess, because if this gear, but it doesn't feel like this has any more resistance than anyone else. Okay. Yeah. Honestly, I feel confident enough to do a test on this, and it's going to be pretty easy because, again, once it would switch to that slot is when it would have a problem. So we're going to start putting this one in first. Cool. I'll put this side one in over here. Okay. This other top one. My battery's dying. That's okay. Okay. Cool. So that's back together. I need to put this in. Okay. And so I'll probably feed a lot of these through here first real quick, just to make sure I have them started. You need to come out though. Oh, shoot. I'm actually gonna get you guys a better angle of what I'm doing down here because I feel like this is gonna be important to see. Okay, so we have this. Now this has a boot and it has the actual wire. So my instinct is gonna be to pull the wire out and then have that go into the CFS system. So this is forward facing, so I'll get these to go through the slots first. Slot. This is slightly annoying, I won't lie. But again, that's why we're doing this. Somebody else is gonna take this apart finally, and they're gonna have a way better system than I do. In fact, I'm sure there's gotta be somebody just screaming at the top of their lungs about how I'm doing this. Positive. Maybe it's Creality themselves. Okay. So this needs to just go back in here. This is the weirdest angle for this. Seems to be in there pretty good. So we'll take this boot and we'll shove the boot. Shove the boot in. Okay, cool. And then we'll set this all the way back in. Okay, cool. And then everything has popped back out of the back like so. Get you guys an angle for this. Okay, so we'll feed this in. We'll pull this back down in there. Put this back down in there. This back down in there. Okay, now, because of my awesome ability to be able to keep things together, I am going to start by putting a little pressure back here so we make sure it's seated. And then I'm going to put this top one in. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm not going to do this like tight. I'm just going to wait till it catches. So like, okay, so that's where the root, no, hold on. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to wait till there's like, till it like stops wanting to move. Cause yeah, okay, so that's good. Now what I'm going to do is make sure these are like pulled through, just cause like, I don't want there to be any pinching anywhere. All right, and then I'm going to do the third one down to try to make sure I'm distributing the installation weight evenly. Okay, so there's resistance, so we stop. And we're going to do this top one. I really appreciate that I can do this kind of blind. Okay, and then the last one. And then I'm going to go through and give them all like maybe an eighth of a turn, like not that much. I'm not trying to like make sure this thing doesn't go to space, you know? I don't think we needed to take the motor off for this particular process. We did need to at least loosen it to get the boden tubes out because those are kind of hairy. Okay, cool. So hold on real quick. Come back in here, find the thing. Yeah, like a quarter turn. Go back down this one so I can find it. Quarter turn, and a, come on, you're here somewhere. There it is, quarter turn. Okay, cool. So we're gonna close this. I'm gonna lock it just so it's secure. Cool. And then we're gonna bring this back around, and then we're gonna put all of these other screws on. I'll keep this angle. Seems like a useful one. And I'll put these outer ones back in. Did not need to do the outer ones for this particular problem. Just so we're all aware. If Creality wants to send me another unit to completely take apart to see how an amateur would do it, more than happy to do that. Creality, just so you're aware. I am more than happy to be your guinea pig of somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. I just know how to look at a problem, recognize the problem, evaluate the problem, and then try to solve said problem. That's what I know how to do best. So, but luckily none of this was like super hard to take apart either. That was honestly one of the best parts about this whole process, was that this wasn't, you know, hard. You know what, we're how many minutes into this? We're about half hour into this whole process. So to be able to pull this out, solve it, and put it back together in about 30 minutes, I think actually is a pretty big win in my book. So slide this back in. Now that slides in really well. It does not come out that well. I'll show you why actually real quick here. If you look here, the way this is, if I could focus, freaking my automatic focus. So if you look right here, it's like slotted that way, so you have to like pull them out one at a time. And this isn't exactly flexible. I mean, you could technically probably do it this way, but I don't want to risk it, so I didn't do it. Cool. So this will all go back in here like this. Back here in this hole. We will put these boden tubes in before we put this down. It's really interesting to me, now that I'm really looking at this, like how this all stays in place, because it just stays in place like this until this cover comes on, and this cover locks it down, but it like locks it down itself, which is just very interesting. Okay, cool. Since I already have this attachment on here, we'll just do these back plates first. Done. Again, I'm not trying to make sure this doesn't take off to the moon. We're just tighten them. Like that's perfect. I don't know if I would do it any more than that. Okay, where's my other attachment? Oh, here it is. I was like, oh, I got the manual one, I guess. Yeah, it looks like these two screws also go like all the way down. So I guess that's probably, I guess there was like plastic inserts that these went into, but whatever. And that's going to be wild if that was the issue, which is why different filaments, it didn't matter, because it was just slipping on that bearing and it wasn't catching to be able to put pressure on the slot to be able to move it out. All right, well, that is all put back together. Good as new. Let's get this back up on the machine and test it out. So just for continuity's sake, I'm actually going to go ahead and load the filament that was a problem into the AMS slot, or the CMS slot, CFS slot. Because it shouldn't do anything. Now, so the first test is going to be this, because when you load these into the CFS, unlike the AMS, it automatically grabs it without you having to press the enter button. So Hmm. It sounds like we still have an issue. Well, that's what these tests are for. So just to verify, let's see if this does it with this one. Nope. See, it eats that one right up. Man. So if I take this out and put it here, this should technically be just fine. Yep. I wonder now. I just did something. And I can't see if it affects it or not. But, all right, well. Back to the drawing board. All right, so my new goal is to go ahead and take this apart and try to figure it out. I'm obviously going to document it, but we're going to probably cut to whatever I find the solution is, because this is already a long video. But the procedure is going to be the same until I find out the problem. Then I'll probably cut you guys back into that. So let's just cut to that right now. So as you can maybe tell, it's the next day. Actually, technically, it's only a few hours later. I was working on that project till about 4 in the morning. Now it's about 10 o'clock the next day. So nothing really happened. I couldn't figure it out. It sounds like the motor is just not engaging in its feeding position, because once it wants to come out, it does it just fine, and it pulls the filament out just fine, but it just doesn't engage it on the way in. So I did contact Creality, which was actually great, as I got on their chat last night at that late, and I was actually able to talk to a few people who were going to help me create a ticket. It is kind of like a weird time, the holidays and everything like that, so I might not hear from anybody back in response to that ticket for a day or so. So we're going to see what's happening. I'm glad now I know how to take that apart, especially because that's how you're going to replace the boden tubes. And I'll be honest, maybe it's in the instruction manual and I didn't see it, but you guys got to learn with me. I got to learn some things, but that is how you would replace the boden tube. So I'm assuming that that's the way that they want you to do it. I'm curious to see what happens. I've loved this printer. I'm not upset or anything. I know things like this happen, but I'm hoping I can get my second unit that I ordered pretty quickly and see where everything's at with the CFS system. I might try to look at one more thing. I haven't. The hardest part is it's going to be hard. I wanted to take it apart with it getting power to it, but that's a really difficult task to be able to do that. Because I'd have to probably bring the printer down to a place that I don't really want to bring it to. I like leaving it where it's at because it's heavy. But I don't know. We might try a few things, but I'm just really curious why it's not working. It sounds like the motor wants to move. I have one more guess, or one more thing I might try. Part of that is because I used to work on cars, and a lot of times when you would have a starter that would either go bad or a starter that was seized, what you could do is do a little bit of a that we called it the hammer trick, where you could put a rod on the starter and you could cap it while it was trying to start, and it would re-engage the starter. If your starter was going bad, you'd have to do that a lot, and you'd have to then replace the starter. But every once in a while, sometimes there was just some gunk or something would get stuck, and you'd hit that and it would release it, and then the starter would work fine. So I might try something to that nature. Obviously, I'm not going to get a rod and a hammer, but just something like it. Anyways, guys, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you could give me a like on the video and give me a subscribe if you're not already subscribing, that would be really great. It helps me out a ton. We're trying to reach that big goal of 500, and just to be transparent with you, it's because then I can monetize. So helped me get there. We're at 125 or 33 by the time we're making this video. So, well, I'm basically Bensky, and mistakes make magic, baby.